Hello everybody, this is N.M.P.D here, and Today we're going to be talking about the infamous cupcake gravemind himself, EDP445's. Now specifically for this video, I want to go on a bit of a deep dive on EDP's Twitter account. Yes, apparently EDP had a Twitter account for God knows how long, and I had no idea until the whole debacle with his attempt of making a newer YouTube channel after his one that he made a few months ago finally got taken down. Ever since that happened, I had no idea he had a Twitter still. I thought that would get taken down eventually, but I guess not. Maybe it did, but he ended up making another one. Who knows? I've been planning to make this kind of video since March 16th or 15th, but due to some unfortunate circumstances, I didn't have that time. Until now. I figured now would be a perfect time to cover this. I'm definitely tardy to the party for this. I want to do this because I want to do it. Again, as a reminder that this EDP is still out there. So I'm only going to focus on the ones that are bizarre, at least to me. So first one right here, made in March 16th.
I shit it all over the toilet seat at work.
What?
Why? Why would you admit this to the whole world to see? Why would you tell anybody this? This is like shit you should keep... This is shit that you... I can't say it. I can't say it because of how twisted this is. This is just shit you should keep to yourself, 6 feet under. This isn't something that you should just put out there for the whole world to see. I am convinced at this point that this guy has a humiliation fetish, because this is not normal. No normal, sane human being would want to come out and talk about this and actually, like, admit this kind of shit. It's funny. It's funny in a way. He admits, of course, he would freely talk about this kind of stuff, but not when he tried to get a cupcake and then go back home. Of course, he doesn't want to talk about that. I'm not even going to play the video. It should be pretty obvious given how EDP is. He's going to be very vulgar and disgusting about the stuff he's talking about. I mean, it should be pretty obvious if you've seen this guy's videos before. I'm not even going to play it because I don't even want to hear it anymore. Like, the dude's a pedo. Like, just at this point, man, just shut up. Just shut the fuck up. Now I want to go through the comments of the tweet that he made, and the first guy here saying, was it more or less embarrassing than the cupcake incident? To EDP's mind, him talking about shitting on the toilet seat seems to be less embarrassing, if not none, than talking about the cupcake incident, aka him trying to meet up with a 13-year-old cupcake. And another comment saying, you're 34 years old, grow the fuck up. Yeah, I can agree more with this comment. Like, dude, EDP is not getting any younger. Like, he's really getting old. He is definitely pushing to his mid and sooner or later to his 40s. So he should seriously change his ways while he still can. But we all know in reality he's gonna continue being the same cartoon villain just to appear to get made fun of. You would think the most embarrassing thing would be trying to meet a 13-year-old. Of course not. In EDP's mind, nothing is really at all embarrassing to him. He seriously has no goddamn shame for anything. And then Eastside Dairy commented saying, you're a pedophile, man. It's good that you work by yourself. Yeah, dude. Imagine if your partner on the job, let's just say it's security. I am betting 100% that EDP's job is working as a security guard, like he did in the past. Imagine if you're working a security job, right? And your partner's EDP. AKA Bryant Moreland. Like, dude, if I found out that he's my partner, like, I just would not be having it. Like, I would have straight up told him, dude, I know what kind of a person you really are behind the scenes. I know what you did. Don't fucking talk to me. I'm only here to get paid. Okay, that's all I'm here for. Like, I'm here to just do my job. I don't care to know who you are, even though I know who you are. And I know what you did, but I don't care about you, you know? Like, don't fucking talk to me. And then another comment saying, yeah, that's enough for tonight. Thanks for forcing me to bed. I got work early. And then, of course, you're gonna have some EDP defending weirdo who will ride on his ass. And I gotta say, at that point, you really do need to grow up. Like, you really do. This guy has been doing this same goofy act for about 10 years now. And 10 years later, he is still trying to come back, still attempting to do this goofy behavior that he always does. And at this point, it's nothing new, it's nothing creative. And now we're gonna look into EDP's other tweet that he made in March 20th saying,
my fart tickled my taint.
Unfair. friggin' believable.
Who wanted to know this? Genuinely. Who asked for this? Because I know for a fact I didn't. Why tell people this? Like, why? And yet again, at the same time, I already know this. It's pretty clear he is doing this to just gain relevancy back. It's pretty obvious. Just by being his usual weirdo self. Must be from all those cupcakes. EDP trying to be funny like how he was 10 years ago.
Oh, baby bread! Uh-oh! Put your clothes back on! Who am I?
That clip is definitely accurate when it comes to EDP trying to come back every time with any kind of random social media platform existing. He will try to make a comeback attempt and try to do his usual weirdo-ness there, and eventually he'll get banned. And of course, we got another EDP defender saying
He's not trying. That's how he actually is.
And then the same guy who made that post replied to him saying, "You liked and retweeted his post. I don't want to hear nothing from you." Which further proves the point that this guy is most certainly an EDP defender. This has to be one of the most common excuses that these guys like to use when somebody shows off proof with EDP actually being an EDP. They say, "Oh, well, you know, it was only just him acting like his usual self. That's just his quirk, his character, and all that good jazz." Even if that is, so be it as it may, but when it comes to going after cupcakes, that should not be excused whatsoever. And that's not who he actually is behind the scenes too, by the way. Like, he loves to claim that he keeps it real with people, but yet when he got caught in 4K the first time, he wasn't having that same energy when he got confronted like that. And then there was the dialysis incident where he got confronted, not by another sting. I'm gonna make that very clear because some people, for some reason, some people think that that was a sting. It was not a sting. They were just there to literally confront him. Skeeter Jean and Gideon confronted him, and EDP, of course, did not have that same energy that he had when he made a response talking to Gideon. All he just did was throw a bit of a hissy fit and then walked away. And of course, he had to call the cops on them. But luckily, it didn't go in his favor, so I guess that's good. And then there was this other incident where EDP got confronted at Walmart. And what did EDP do? All he just said was not to get his ass beat and walked away. He doesn't have the same energy like he does making the videos. It just proves it. It really does. So he's not keeping it real with people when he does shit like this. Anyways, we're gonna continue on with EDP's Twitter account. This tweet was posted on April 12th saying, "Smoking weed is cool until your employer drug tests your ass." Alright, so that confirms that EDP is a weed head, you know, aka weed addict. Why are you smoking that shit during your fucking job? If he is doing that shit during his job, like, why are you doing that? At that point, I seriously question if they even done a background check on you. I will never understand these 30-year-old weed addicting weirdos. I've never even smoked it myself, and I don't even tend to because I don't want to. And plus, from where I'm from, it is illegal to smoke weed or even obtain it. Like, I feel like the weed will bring the man bitch within them out. At least with the last guy that I've encountered. He's like some 30-year-old weed head that clearly smokes and ingests it every day. The dude can sometimes be unhinged, emotional, and especially being a hypocrite. Like, there was this instance, of course, where I wasn't there, where one of my mates ended up yawning, and he got very, very unhinged over him yawning. And yet, another time, he was just eating in the mic, and somehow that's okay. But yawning to him is a serious crime. So it's just a scenario that it's only okay if you do it, but nobody else. That's just how it is to him. You know, I didn't really have much of a problem with him until he started slowly being a hypocrite, and on top of that, he went off on all of us during the call at one point in time over some incident that one of me other mates did. I didn't know too much about it at the time. I'm not really gonna go too deep into that. That's like a whole different story for a whole nother time. So, after that, I definitely tend to have a problem with him. And on top of that, what I didn't know until one of my other mates told me was that the dude was also fucking racist when I wasn't around, of course. Like, he said the N-word not only once, not only twice, not only 3 times. Hell, it might be too many to count. It's unknown how many times he said it, but he also said it with the hard R. And I bet in a derogatory way. And that's when I was like, okay, this weedhead needs to go. So all I did was remove him on everything. Anyways, on to the next tweet. we got EDP out here saying,
Let's help the children.
yeah, that's a big yikers if I do say so myself. You cannot be talking about wanting to help them. Of course, you would only want to help them for yourself. Something I didn't expect from this tweet though was that he ended up getting community noted, which I gotta say, this has to be the first community noted tweet from EDP that I have ever seen. And you know, in the note it basically explains exactly what was in the video, so luckily we don't have to watch the video. And even if there wasn't a note, I still wouldn't want to watch it because this is EDP we're talking about. I mean, come on. Bryant Moreland, also known as EDP445, seems to be trying to make a joke in this video that can easily misinterpreted as being serious. He has been caught multiple times messaging minors and is proven to be a pedophile. He should hypothetically be in prison right now. And that I can 100% agree with this community note. After all this time, how the hell is he not in jail? And of course, why am I not surprised? He set the comment settings to only people who follow him can comment on that specific tweet. Of course. It's not surprising. This isn't the first time he's done anything like this before. Technically, it's his account. He can do what he wants. But at the same time, it just really goes to show that this shit is really starting to get to him. Actually, it has been getting to him for quite a while. And that right there really just shows. And of course, EDP just has to have the need to make a response to his previous tweet saying this.
Readers add context to this fake-ass article. You gotta love social media. To be honest, I'm too tired to even give a fuck. Good night.
Yeah, I can definitely sense that he was mad coping behind that tweet. If he really didn't give a fuck, why even make a tweet about it? You know, and I think that's a pretty fair question. If you really did not care, why do you gotta have a need to talk about it? At this point, all he could ever do when that shit comes up to his face is that he ends up completely in denial about it and just says that it's not real, even though there is a huge amount of evidence of him proving to be, in fact, an EDP. And now I want to go through a tweet that he made before that, saying,
The best life advice I have to offer is learn to enjoy your own company.
okay, he's not wrong with that, but this is coming from one of the worst people to actually listen to this to. Let me explain. Some people just finally had enough with dealing with other people, so they prefer doing their own thing alone. It's really that goddamn simple because you don't know what the fuck they've been through. They've been through some serious hardships, betrayals, backstabs. Hell, I know this because I've been through it myself. All people do is betray me and my trust, lie to me, and talk some serious shit. It'd even be racist behind my back. And the craziest thing is of all is that they thought I wouldn't fucking know somehow. Like, I know because they can't seem to know how to shut the fuck up when I'm around, of course. And one of these days, I just finally had enough, and I was like, you know what? Enough is finally enough. No fucking more. And now I'm gonna make sure nobody ever gets that chance ever again. Like, that shit is just done. Like, friendship is just dead to me at this point. And my kindness is gonna be at its limit because either it's not good enough to some petty motherfuckers, or they're gonna try to take advantage of that. They wonder why they're all labeled as the same anyway. And in EDP's case, he doesn't have an actual good reason for this shit. The reason why he is lonely is because he is in fact a predator. And as soon as he got caught in 4K, all of his friends cut ties with him, and rightfully so. I can't blame any of them whatsoever. Ain't nobody wanna be around in EDP. And I almost forgot to mention that this dude still has a cameo up and running. Seriously, who is giving this weirdo money? Like, you lot should be ashamed of yourselves if you're giving this dude money just to do a cameo. You gotta be just as sick and twisted as him at that point. Like, I am just convinced. And there's also one more thing I'd like to talk about too, is that apparently EDP is going to have his own documentary coming out soon. I don't know when specifically. I didn't really look in too deep into it, but I have already known that, you know, the other people that have encountered EDP, like the people that caught him the first time, Gideon, Skeet Hansen, you know, those guys will definitely be part of the interview. Definitely gonna tarnish EDP's reputation more than ever. Like, I don't know what he was thinking when he wanted to do it. And I'll be sure to keep an eye on that, well, if I get the chance, of course. There are a couple of EDP topics that I wanted to talk about, but due to how long the video is right now, I'm going to have to save it for another video for another time. The other one, I'm kind of late to the party with the first topic, and the second one has definitely been recent and pretty wild, let's just say. I don't want to spoil it just yet. So anyways, I figured I'd go into a bit of a deep dive on his Twitter account, and I gotta say, it's the usual EDP grind set. Really nothing interesting, to be honest with you. So that's about it. I'll see you guys next time, I guess.